So attack time, in layman's terms, is how long it takes after that signal crosses the threshold before the compressor clamps down and starts working. And I set up a drum loop, and then I split it 4 more times, so I have it going 5 times. And I have each compressor on, so the first one you're going to hear, let's just hear the drum loop and then I'll explain. No compression. Okay, it's a drum loop. Now, I've set up 4 different compressors. What you're going to hear is the first one will be uncompressed, and then the next one is going to be 100 milliseconds, then the next one is going to be 20 milliseconds, and this is just attack times. 100 millisecond attack time, 20 millisecond attack time, 10 millisecond attack time, 1 millisecond attack time. And what you'll notice is all of the other settings are identical. The only thing different is the attack time. So listen to how radically you can change a sound by simply changing the attack time. And this is a pretty fast release, 25 milliseconds, so it's letting go pretty quickly after the signal goes back under the threshold. It's not super fast, but it's kind of fast. And I've got the threshold set low enough that it should be working on definitely on the kicks and snares and snare rolls and maybe touching the hi-hats. So again, you'll hear no compression, then 120, 10, 1. Sorry, let me get this loop going. Okay. Okay, so you probably noticed several things. I'm going to play this same loop for you one more time so you can kind of key into this. If you watch the blue gain reduction meters, you'll see there's at 100 millisecond attack time, the compressor is, the snare drum goes above the threshold and the compressor goes like, all right, 100 milliseconds now. And by the time the compressor starts trying to work, the snare has already been like, all right, I'm there and back, I'm above and below the threshold before you even started attacking me. And then the 20 millisecond is like, you can hear a lot of that transient, the initial spike, go through the compressor before the compressor then clamps down hard on it. With the 10 millisecond, you can hear how just a little bit of that spike gets through, but for the most part, most of the sound is being pulled down, and then with the 1 millisecond, nothing is getting through there. The moment that snare hits and everything hits, it's immediately reacting to it. It's immediately pulling it down. So again, look at hang on, yeah, all right. Look at the blue gain reductions and what it's doing to each different transient. And again, this is important to know about drums because especially when you're compressing drums, you want to be able to set your attack and release times to be what you want. If you're setting your attack at 1 millisecond, you're getting rid of your entire transient. None of that transient whatsoever is getting through. And that's going to completely change the sound of that drum. 20 milliseconds, a little bit of the transient spike gets through, but not much. 10, even less, you get it. So you can see it at 1 millisecond. Let's loop that 1 millisecond piece. Okay, this is 1 millisecond. So you can see that I've got my threshold set at -32, which is pretty low, and it's always reacting. So even those hi-hats and everything about that loop is above the threshold, but with the attack so fast, it's instantaneously just attacking everything, pulling everything down, no transients, and and it's constantly working, constantly trying to let it go. That's bypass. Now, a lot of times you'll use super fast attack release on like your room sounds. If you have live drums, because you don't want the transients in your room sound, you want the sound of the room. So you knock down the transient and then let the room breathe. And but that's a lesson for another day.